it. Nobody close try to stop me.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Megan Thee Stallion's new song, Cobra, is revealing a new and more personal side of the H-Town rapper. In the song, she shares the struggles of depression while living in the limelight, even suicidal thoughts. My next guest says the rapper's raw honesty may be helpful to anyone else suffering from mental health struggles. And joining us now here on The Factor Uncensored, we have with us Dr. Rita Walker from the University of Houston, and also best-selling author of the book, The Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health. Glad to have you here on The Factor Uncensored. We know our favorite artist from Houston has released a new single, and it's called Cobra, but you found something significant that's important for the listener, and especially the Black community, about that single, Cobra.
Yeah, she talked about suicide in a way that was really very vulnerable, and she attached it to her emotional well-being. And I think the thing that was really very extraordinary was how she acknowledged that people don't typically think of her as someone who would have that level of vulnerability to be depressed. And for me, that's something that happens a lot in our community, that people just don't feel comfortable looking like what they've been going through.
And of course, we know Megan Thee Stallion has had unbelievable success for a freshman artist, unbelievable success. But she's also had her ups and downs in the industry where she was shot in the foot. Many people didn't believe her. And then the situation with the battle with her old record label. And so she's had a lot of ups and downs, and that'll take a toll, especially if you're a high-profile female like this.
You know, there are so many of us who just struggle for all different reasons. Why? Because we're human, and life just happens. And I think that it's important for us to be aware that just because someone seems to have resources or that they seem to have everything going for them, it doesn't mean that when difficult things happen, that it doesn't get to them. In fact, a lot of folks who seem to have everything going well are the ones who are less likely to get help, even though they're struggling, because people assume like, oh, they'll be fine. You know, they're okay.
Now, what's the hesitation on those high-profile individuals or those that we may see who seem to have it together? Why would they be hesitant in getting the mental help or even talking to a counselor when they need to?
You know, I think it's some of the same conversations that any of us have, who people say like, oh, you know, they seem to have everything going for them. They should be okay. There's no reason for them to struggle emotionally. And what's inherent in that is judgment. And no one wants to talk to anyone or to open up to anyone that they feel like is judging them. But I mentioned that word should with emphasis because of a lot of us who use that word should, it's problematic because we say, well, you should be okay. Well, if I'm not, then what does that mean?
Now, this release, this single that Megan Thee Stallion put out, Cobra, do you think it will help others out there who may find themselves in a dark place and they say, well, if Megan can go through something like this, then surely I can, and surely I need to reach out and get some help?
Well, you know, those lyrics from that song, I think, resonate for a lot of people, but it's just some of the comments that we see online. And part of the difficulty of emotional health challenges is someone feeling like it's just me. Other people don't go through this. And when you see not just other people, but for someone who is seemingly as high profile as she is, who's still struggling, that says, okay, what I'm going through is normal. And if she could talk about this, assuming it's, you know, she's talking about her real inner experiences, she can talk about this, then surely I can reach out for help.
Now, there has been a problem historically in Black and Brown communities where getting the counseling, the psychological, the mental health care that you need has been frowned upon. Do we see a slow evolution in that? Any changes coming that would give us hope that it would be okay in these communities to accept the help that you need?
I actually do see the evolution, and I've been encouraged about it. I talk about it in the Unapologetic Workbook because I think what's happened is a lot of the celebrities, a lot of folks that people look up to, a lot of folks that we see as having it all, they have been modeling and talking explicitly about how they've benefited from therapy. And I think part of that, because we hold our celebrities in really very high regard in our community. And because of that, I do think that we're starting to see some of the conversations shift. There's still a lot of stigma, Isaiah. There's still too much stigma, to be honest. But I do see the conversation shifting for the better.
All right, Dr. Rita Walker from the University of Houston. And she's also, once again, the best-selling author of The Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health. Thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored tonight.